Well, hello and welcome to ReginaldESQ. I'm on the hook and this is my review of the Tier 10 baby. It's a British SPG and I thought it sucked. But I'm sure there's lots of people who say it's really good and they have lots of fun driving Tier 10 SPGs. Well, good luck to them, 'cause I really thought it sucked. But I guess it's okay if you like that sort of thing. So yeah, look, it's probably okay. I just don't like maybe all high tier SPGs. I don't know. I've only driven the British line. It's just I can't stand something with such bad accuracy where really it seems to be a matter of luck as to whether you have a good game or not. There's only two things that really matter. One is positioning, finding a good position, and I admit I'm probably not the best at that. And the other thing is really just hitting what you aim at, and it's very, very hard to do in this tank. Although I think a lot of people treat this a bit like the 183, where they just fire premium ammunition only. And with the extra splash radius that the premium ammunition gives, you probably do a lot more damage, and I think people probably do that. But you would definitely, I would think, lose money every game doing that. Anyway, let's get into the review. It has 530 hit points, which is about, probably on the upper side of average. Actually, the most goes to the German GW E100 with 550, and the least goes to the French Batchat with 490. The weight of this thing, well, it weighs around about 55 tonne. Now, the heaviest is that GW E100 at 87 tonne, and the lightest is the Batchat at 35. That's pretty irrelevant, though, because you're probably not going to be ever ramming another artillery. But it just lets you know that, scout tanks, you probably can take a ram, but anybody else, watch out for it. The speed of the tank, well, it does 34 kilometers an hour in forward and 10 in reverse. That's probably on the lower side of average. It is a little slow to get into, if you want to get in positions like high up on ridge lines and stuff. It takes a while to get up there. It's not the slowest, though. The slowest is the American 292, which is 32 kilometers an hour in forward, but that's only 2 kilometers an hour less, so it's close to the slowest. The fastest is the Batchat at 62 kilometers per hour. Now, the track traverse on this is 24 degrees a second, which is not bad, actually. The worst is the GW E100 with 18 degrees, and the best is, again, the Batchat with 36 degrees. The gun traverse, though, is very good. So the amount the gun can move without having to turn the tracks is 30 degrees, which is really, really good for a high-ranking SPG. I'm actually quite happy with that, so you don't have to move your tracks too often to get an aim. The Batchat, of course, is the best because it pretty much has a turret, has 180 degrees of traverse. But the worst is the Object 261 with just 5 degrees, which would make it very difficult to increase your aiming time. So gun elevation, well, 45 degrees, and gun depression, 0 degrees. Now, with 0 degrees of gun depression, it's really hard to use this as a TD and very hard to defend yourself against scouts or things like that come after you. So you're pretty much stuffed as far as that goes. The best gun depression is the Object 261 with 3 degrees of gun depression. All the other TDs at this, all the other SPGs at this tier have 0, so they're all in the same boat. The best gun elevation goes to the T92 with 65 degrees. That said, the elevation arc on this gun, as far as its firing arc, is very, very good and is known to be the best, I think, along with the T92 is also very good. So it does enable you to hit tanks that are hiding behind rocks and things fairly well if you're shooting at longish range. However, actually hitting them is another matter. The view range of 350 meters is average, as the Batchat has 340, that's the worst, and the best is the GW100 and the T92 both have 360. The signal range is very good at 750 meters, so the scouts can relay the information to you. The worst is the Object 261 at 720, and the best is the T92 with 776. Camouflage-wise, this thing is about average. They're all pretty similar. The Batchat has the best, but the worst is the GW100, which has terrible camouflage. But other than that, this one's about average. It's not great. It's similar to sort of heavy tanks, so don't expect to be able to hide for very long from the scouts if they come looking for you. Now, one of the most important things with artillery is the splash radius of your shell. Now, the standard shells on this gun, let's have a look at the gun. So we'll talk about the gun. It has a rate of fire of 1.03 rounds per minute, which is absolutely awful and is the worst of all. Does have, though, 117 millimeters of penetration, which is very good, and I will compare that to the others in a second. And does 2,200 damage per round, which is pretty huge. The dispersion is awful at 1.2, and the aiming time of 8.8 is also awful. And I'll go into that in a second. Actually, I'll go into it now. We'll talk about it compared to the others. So, splash radius of the standard shell is 7.76 meters, which is pretty huge. It's the second best. The T92 has a splash radius of 8.13. So what does that mean? Well, that means if you land next to a tank or within 7 meters of a tank, you'll still do some damage, although it does reduce the further away you get. But as long as you land within sort of 7 meters, you'll do some damage, which enables you to land between, say, 2 tanks and damage them both in some instances. The T92 is 8.13 meters, which is a bit better than the 7.76 on this. The worst is the Batchat with 3.97 meters splash radius. Now, if you decide to use premium ammunition, and a lot of people do, and this is why, with the premium ammunition, you can do 11.1 meters of splash radius. And you kind of need it with this guy because it's so inaccurate that you almost never hit what you aim at. So you kind of need to have a good splash radius, just to do any damage at all. Now, the T92 has the best splash radius, so it's 11.64 with its premium ammunition, and the worst would be the Batchat with 5.34 with its premium ammunition. But still, it's very, very good on this tank. The accuracy on this tank, well, it's the worst at. With a fully trained crew, it's 1.15 meters. That means for every 100 meters of range, you can miss by an average of 1.15 meters. That means when you're shooting at about 700 meters, which is around about where you want to be shooting to get a good gun arc, you're probably going to be missing by anywhere up to 8 meters with your shots. And since you have a 7.76 splash radius, that means a lot of your shots can and often do absolutely no damage whatsoever. In fact, you can easily miss a shot by 50 meters or more. It's no biggie in this tank. The best in class is the Object 261 with a 0.63 accuracy, and the next worst would be the T92 with 0.88. So yeah, the accuracy is truly awful, and it's probably the thing that spoiled this tank for me. The rate of fire of 55.71 seconds to reload is the worst. The next worst is the T92 with 50.82 seconds, and the best is the Object 261 with 33.56 seconds. So you can see there's a huge difference. The Batchat, of course, is an auto-loader, so even though it takes 76 seconds to reload the magazine, it fires one every 6 seconds. It's got 4 shells in its magazine, so that's something to consider. The aim time on this is the worst of all of the Tier 10 SPGs with 8.44 seconds. The T92 does 7.67 seconds, and the Batchat has an aim time of 5.27. So having the worst aiming time means that a lot of time you'll line up on a target and another SPG will destroy the target before you get a chance to fire. So that is an issue that you miss a lot of shots simply because other SPGs take them before you can finish aiming. Especially even lower tier ones, I aim even quicker. The damage on this is pretty fantastic. The standard shells and the premium shells actually have a penetration of 117 and do 2,200 average damage per shot, which is immense. The T92 actually does more. The T92 is 120 millimeters of average penetration and does 2,250. So slightly more pen, slightly more damage per shot than this, and a slightly better rate of fire. However, this has a better arc, I understand, as far as getting over rocks and things goes. The Batchat, of course, has the the worst damage is 95 pen with 1,250, but then it is an auto-loader. So that's about all as far as comparing it to the others goes. I have gun rammer, gun laying drive, speed up the loading time and aiming time, critical on this tank, and vents fitted to also speed up the aiming and loading time, because that's what kills this SPG. My crew is fully trained. They're a well-trained crew. 6 Sense repairs and working on camouflage. Camouflage repairs working on snapshot. Repairs, snapshot working on Brothers in Arms. And smooth ride, clutch braking working on camouflage. Camouflage, Brothers in Arms working on repairs, is it? And camouflage, Brothers in Arms working on repairs. So you can see that's the crew. Bit of a motley crew, but anyway. So let's have a look at Tanks GG and then get into some gameplay. The Conqueror Gun Carrier on the Tanks GG website. Let's go straight to the hybrid view and check it out. The lower hull is the Conqueror, basically. So don't shoot the upper plate here. It is 152 millimeters thick. If you are defending yourself with this tank, you should pretty much always try and face your opponents because the frontal plate here isn't too bad. The lower plate, though, is pretty bad at 76mm and will be penetrated easily. The superstructure is terrible at 50mm, so it's really only... You will bounce shots off the front if they happen to shoot that part. The side of the tank, where you've got some spaced armour here of 25mm, overlaying the 50mm of hull armour underneath and can bounce angled shots. However, the upper part is just 6mm over the 50mm. The superstructure, once again, here is only 50mm thick and is easily penetrated. The lower part of the hull at the rear is 76mm. The upper top of the tank is 31mm and means that counter battery fire from other SPGs will rip you a new one. That's about it. Okay, it's a tier 10 game. It's actually part way through. I'll just speed this up a little bit. I'm actually just going to show a small portion of this game because it does show you the best and worst of this tank in a couple of small clips. So here we go, we're normal speed now, aiming at this FV4202. I can't fire really anyway, but look how long it takes to aim. Those aiming dots started from off the screen, and I'm now almost fully aimed and the tank is destroyed. That sort of thing happens incredibly often in this tank. You just can't aim quickly enough to fire your gun before somebody else has destroyed the damn thing. Anyway, I'll just speed this up a little bit again. And this part, when it comes, will probably make you laugh. But happens all the time. Okay, so here I go, firing at the mouse. I let my shell go and it hits the FV215B behind the mouse, doing 1042 damage. Yep, I fired directly at that mouse, fully aimed, and I hit the FV215B. Yeah, that happens. That sort of thing where you hit a tank other than the one you're aiming at is really common, and missing by 30, 40, 50 meters is quite common too. You can see how stretched out it is because it is aiming at a tank that's on a slope. The aiming reticle is really stretched out, but that is fully aimed. That's as accurate as this thing gets, and it's pretty darn nasty. The other thing that's probably bored you to tears already is how long this is taking to reload. It still isn't reloaded. Even with everything I've got fitted, it still takes about 50 seconds to reload. I let the shell go, hoping the mouse will drive into it. But we miss. No, we hit the mouse for 1032. Hallelujah! So I tend to aim at the tough, hard to kill tanks because I feel that's probably the most benefit for my team. Although it probably doesn't. It's probably not the best as far as getting the high damage scores goes. So I'm just going to full force. I don't think I do anything here much good for a little while. I think I do hit this tiger, so let's slow down normal speed here. Fire a shot here, and we hit him for 869. It tracks him as well, so I thought it might have hit his upper plate, but it might have just clipped his track and did fairly good damage. I'm going to fast forward this again now because I don't really do much else. And now there is a E100 here. We missed by a fair bit. There is an IS-7 sitting here. Now I've got this at 4 times. Look at the loading at 4 times. Spinning down to 2 times and now to normal speed because we're going to let a shell go. And this is the best thing about this. Yeah, we just one shot an IS-7 for 2,250 or 2,150. I think it's got health. Basically with IS-7s, if you can hit their frontal plate, you can one-shot them. If you hit the side, the back, or the top, generally you won't. But if you can hit the front plate, which I think is only 120, 130 mils, you can one-shot kill them. Anyway, that's enough of this game. So we lost that game. Yeah, but anyway, you can see there, we hit a few tanks. So we finished about middle of the road. You tend not to finish very high up the ladder when you're in an SPG because you're not doing your own spotting. So you tend to you don't get full points for the damage that you do. And the next screen, we fired 8 rounds. 4 of those hit, which is pretty good for this tank. 3 with splash damage. So we did 5,093 damage, which is pretty good. We received 1 hit. We did get killed. We got 1 shot by a 183. And 4 vehicles damaged, 1 destroyed, which was that IS-7 that we managed to one-shot. We did do 44 points of defense points there. 52,000 income, which sounds okay, but the vehicle costs over 31,000 to repair when it's destroyed, and it does get destroyed a lot by scouts these days. The ammunition, I only fired standard ammunition, and it cost me about, what was that? Is that 10,000 or 18,000? 18,000 it cost me for standard ammunition. Now, the premium ammunition costs about 8,000 per shot. Now, I made 801 credits after I did 5,000 damage. So you can imagine, on average, a normal game where you might only do 3,000 damage, something like that, you generally lose credits. Not uncommon for me in this tank to lose 25 to 30,000 credits per game for 4 or 5 games in a row, and then you get one where you make money. The guys I used to clan wars with in the TOG clan would use this in clan wars matches, and they would fire premium ammunition, and not uncommon for them, if we lost the battle, for them to lose 100,000 credits for the game. So, next game. Move out. This time we're on mines, and we'll just watch the replay at normal speed the whole time this time. So, you can see here the tank is not as fast as that one in front of us, but it's not too bad speed-wise. And I'm pulling into this position here, one of the classic artillery positions, behind these bushes and rock here now. I do have to be careful about counter battery fire. There are 2 artillery on the enemy team, and there's 3 on our team. What I have found generally in World of Tanks, if there are 3 artillery on each team, counter battery fire becomes quite common. If there's like only 1 on each team, people don't bother with counter battery fire, because it takes too long to look at a map and see if somebody's firing. And if you happen to be looking at the wrong area of the map, I let a shell go there, and we miss. And yeah, it takes too long you spend too much time looking for enemy artillery fire and not actually firing your gun and doing any damage to any tanks. But if there's 3 on the enemy team, then it can kind of be worth it, because the chances are that when you look at a section of map, at least somebody's going to be in that section and somebody's going to be firing when you look. And you can do some counter battery work. And I've noticed that that is the crucial time. When there's 3 or more artillery, you almost always get counter battery fire. When there's not, you rarely do. So now, getting ready to fire at this M103 if we get the chance. Waiting for the gun to load and aim. It's almost fully aimed and it's almost loaded. I am going to have to adjust my aim here a little bit. As long as I lost a lot of my aim there while I moved the gun a little bit. So I'm letting it aim in again. And I let the shell go. Wow. I think we just one-shot that M103. 1,850 damage. Now, you're seeing this replay, of course, because things went right. That was one of the things that went right. And we've had very good accuracy so far. So I pull in against the rock in case somebody is doing counter battery fire. I hopefully won't get one shot killed if I'm right in against the rock. I foolishly knock over that tree as I'm backing up again as well. And the thing is with this tank, the loading time is so long, it really doesn't hurt you to pull in and move to a different position while you're reloading, even if you want to pull back to your previous position to fire from. So I know there's a tank here, so I'm just letting my gun aim and load, and I'm just waiting for him to hopefully be spotted again. So right now I can't shoot over the rock, but here I can. You can see that there. Although there's still a chance of me hitting the rock. Now we do see this FV4202 here. Can't quite get a shot where he is, so just aim here and hope that he moves out of that position and we can shoot him. You can see there I can almost get a shot. I let the shell go. And I don't think we actually hit him. I think that was splash damage, but it landed close enough that he only had 400 and something health left. Or was it 466? It was close enough that it was actually able to blow him up there, because he's not that heavily armoured, being a medium tank. So yeah, that was good. So we've had a fair bit of luck. Now, the thing is with this tank that you can play a game like this and have a great game and do massive damage. If you could play the exact same game again and do everything you did exactly the same, you could do it and get 0 damage. Because whether your shell lands anywhere near the tank you're aiming at, in my opinion, is pretty much pure luck. So I'm hoping this AMX-3 is going to back up. He did. I let the shell go and... Ooh! 1,016 damage. Now, AMX-30 doesn't have very good armor, and I'm pretty sure they actually missed the tank, but missed it not by very much. And so it probably landed like half a meter away or something, I think, and did really good damage to it. Now you can see there that our artillery just got shot. Now was that counter battery fire, or was that a tank that shot him? They have taken the hill, so we do have to be careful. There might be someone on the hill shooting at him. So right now I am looking to see if I can see anybody firing from this position. There was a tank spotted in this position just recently. You can see on the mini-map there. An FV215B 183 it was spotted there. So I was just trying to see. I actually did fire my shell there, just speculatively. So we can look at the end of the game and see if we hit a 183 or not. We obviously didn't directly hit it because we saw an explosion, but you never know, we might have got some splash damage there. Our team has started to not do well. We're starting to lose this battle, I think. So I'm just aiming in on the hill now because we have had a couple of tanks spotted up there at different times. And they are obviously causing havoc for our team. So I'm just trying to aim in up here and hopefully get a shot on one of them. A Lorraine 42 has been spotted on the island. Oh, back chat, close range. Do I wait for it to fully aim? No, I don't. And I fire and we get a very lucky hit. 1,098 damage. We are spotted when we fire though, but I really had to take that shot because he was going to come and waste me anyway. So it could be the end of the game for me there. Everybody knows where I am now. I have moved in against the rock, but it's surely only a matter of time now before either artillery or the Batchet come to finish me off. The 183 appears to be... no, he's out of range. A 1390 is now on the way. I can see... oh, he's on his way to the island, so somebody's going to come and get us. Just sitting here now waiting for reload, and I'm hoping I'll be reloaded as the Batchet comes around the corner and I'll be able to get a shot into it. We're almost reloaded. Really, I don't know why they didn't just come and get me because there's such a long reload on this thing. Okay, well, I'm reloaded. So we're in with a chance. Just waiting for it to come around the corner. I've come out here because I figure, well, maybe I'll get it by surprise, where if I'm actually in behind the rock, it'll just know where I am. And I haven't seen the Batchat for a while, so I'm going to see if I can get a shot on this AMX. Charioteer, can we get it? Will I get another shot before I get wasted by the Batchat? Where has that Batchat gone? Oh, you know what? The Batchat's dead. Somebody took care of it on our team. I'm back in business. Although the 1390 you think would have come and got me, but I suppose we have got the Waffenträger E100 on our hill back here, so maybe he killed it. Oh, Lorraine 42's coming. There's the 183. Do I wait for fully aim? I let my shell go. Oh, yes! Well, there you go. This was a very lucky game. I didn't even fully aim on that tank and I hit it. That is pretty unusual. Not uncommon to do 0 damage in this tank. So, yeah. I can't imagine I'm going to live for much longer though, because we only have... Oh, now it's just me and an IS-7 against... well, they got 6 tanks. Yeah, I'm going to be dead. I'm still reloading. I'll just speed this up a little bit to 2 times while I'm trying to reload here. And back to normal speed now. Come on, reload, reload. There was a tank spotted up here. Oh, it's here now. Chariot... Oh, I've been hit by the Lorraine. Oh, they're right next to me. Oh dear, I made a mistake there. I probably should have just... Well, I wasn't ready to fire anyway. So it was a defeat, but we got a high caliber and a Gauze medal. Now the Gauze medal you get for doing, I think it's 10 times your tank's hit points in damage in an SPG. I've got a few of those in this tank. You can do big damage in this tank, even with standard ammunition, as you saw. I only use standard ammunition. But I could just as easily have got like 1,000 damage in that game. It's incredibly unpredictable, and it's incredibly frustrating when you've got, say, 4 tanks all crowded together, and you just think, I can't miss. And you get 3 shots out of them because they're all just sitting there for like 3 minutes, and you miss all of them. It's just... This tank makes me yell at my computer. Alright, so we finished second for XP on our team, which is really unusual considering you're not doing your own spotting, but I think it's because other than this tank finished the IS-7, most of the other tanks didn't do a lot of damage. Let's go to the next screen. So we fired 7 shots, 4 direct hits, 3 splash damage. I think one of our shots completely missed. The one we fired at the 183, which was a blind shot, didn't do any damage to it. I know that. So at least one of the shots completely missed. So maybe one of the direct hits also did splash damage to another tank or something like that. But anyway, 5,783 damage is quite a bit. We actually managed to bounce one of those shots from the scouts at the end. 6 tanks damaged, 3 of them destroyed. 59,000 income plus another 7,000 for courageous resistance. Brings it up to 66,000, and even though we only fired standard ammunition, we only made a 15,000 or 16,000 credit profit doing and getting a Gauze medal at the same time. You can see it's not at all a profitable tank, and on my average game on this tank, I do lose money. 402 XP is a nothing. Actually, no, I would have added up to 650 XP, which gives you a nothing in the tank. Thank you for watching my review of the Tier 10 British SPG, the Conqueror Gun Carrier. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more reviews, please subscribe to ReginaldESQ. Have fun.